Ani everyone, I have another bullet journal budget video for you. This time we went to the Dollar General. So I'm going to show you the layout and the materials I got, and maybe it might give you some ideas on how to do a bullet journal on a budget. All right, ready to start? So the first page is the cover page, and I wanted to use the sticky notes kind of to distinguish where the flowers were, and I just found some sketches online, and I wanted to use them to kind of bring some coloration in. One of the things that I really noticed that I was a little, not necessarily disappointed, but the paper is a lot thinner and there's a lot of shadowing with the color. So that's why I think using the sticky notes kind of helps, because the color goes through, but the words don't go through. And using sticky notes to add different elements to the page, I think really helps. And I like the basic sketches of flowers. The simplicity and beautifulness of it just makes me smile. And then I tried to do a slight calligraphy kind of script for the January section, or the JAN, and I really liked the way that it came out. I was trying to use colors that complemented each other, and so I had a lot of variation of colors with the page markers as well as the sticky notes, but some of them didn't really go good together. So I just went with the blues, pinks, and yellows. And then the next page, I decided a different type of layout. Instead of doing a box kind of design for the month, I decided to use the page markers as my days. So then every Monday would be marked with the yellow, so I knew that that was the beginning of the week. And I could go, okay, this is the beginning of my week, and I could distinguish which colors, and did the darker blue and the light blue every other day, so it kind of broke it up a little bit. And then I also did some highlighters for the goals and for another section on the bottom just to maybe write notes. And then I used the page markers and for the January up top and the flower, and to create the pink page marker, all I did was trace the size of the page markers onto the pink sticky notes, and that created that type of shape, so that I can use the pink just like I used the yellows and the other blues, and switch back and forth. And then I continued on with my theme of simplified flowers, and I really liked the way it looked with layering the sticky notes on top of each other. And then the next page is the projects page. So again, I just used the sticky notes layered on top of each other to add some distinction to the titles. And then I used the sticky note or the highlighters to do every other line, like what you would see in a bullet journal, a regular bullet journal, because these are plain pages. They don't have lines, they don't have dots, so I just kind of tried to create it in a spacing of what I would think, a page so I could write in. And then the mood tracker, all I did was do a swirl vine to kind of keep with the flower theme, and then just use the leaves, kind of like what I did with my dryad for my monthly spread in 2022, my dryad spread, and I just kind of based it similar to that one of using the leaves as my mood tracker and figuring out the colorations. And then I added a little tiny strip of pink. I started cutting up the pink sticky notes to try and make them fit with the other shapes, so that way there wasn't just one big square, because I thought it would take away from it. But I used the yellows, the 2 shades of blue, and the pink to kind of add that little bit. And I kind of added some outlining different colors with the different color pens to the flowers to kind of give them a little bit of depth. And I think that really helped a lot. And then we have the first weekly task list. And what I did was I just used the highlighters, the pink, blue, and the yellow. And I just did an Alistair style task list. The yellow's more of a green, you know how that highlighter looks, but overall I think it kind of helps and it distinguishes a line so that I could go, okay, that's on Monday, that's on Tuesday, and still use this method. I would probably maybe use for the following week, I would use sticky notes for each day of the week and kind of place them onto the page. As I said, I don't know how many months you can get out of here. It depends on how you kind of lay out your weeks. But overall, I think that it's a really good notebook. If you use the sticky notes, you can kind of, there's some shadowing and bleed through, but overall, I think it's really good. And so finding different kinds of books to use when you're doing bullet journaling on a budget is really beneficial, and trying to figure out new ways that you can use the supplies you have, whether that's sticky notes, highlighters, different colored pens, anything like that. Try to think outside that box to kind of help you get ideas. When I first looked at the sketchbook, I was like, but I couldn't find a notebook that I really liked at the Dollar General. So this was a good alternative. And the book itself was $5. And the supplies itself, I mean, I spent $17.50. So overall, I think that it was a good buy. So if you like the budget videos, there's some other ones that I'll link. And I'll see you in the next video, or in the outro. All right, bye. So the first page is the cover page, and I wanted to use the sticky notes kind of to distinguish where the flowers were, and I just found some sketches online, and I wanted to use them to kind of bring.
This was a fun spread. The pages weren't as thick as I was hoping for a sketchbook one, but it actually worked really well, and I loved using all of the different sticky notes for different aspects of the journal. So hopefully this gave you some ideas on how you can use sticky notes, sketchbooks versus regular journals. Sometimes you can't find the journals that you want, and sometimes the pages are thinner, so how can you use that? Hopefully this helped. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, my pea.